What's up everybody, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Ranger, which is in Halo 3, beat the par score on the Arc. So start up that level. This is on Heroic. You could do it on any difficulty, but I recommend Heroic or Legendary. Normally I do Legendary, but some of you guys requested I do Heroic for some of these, so I did Halo 3 so far, all on Heroic. And I have on 3 skulls at the moment. I have on Tough Luck, Catch, and Thunderstorm. Normally I'd have on more skulls, such as Mythic and Tilt, but you don't really need that many skulls on in this because you have a ton of opportunities for points throughout the entire level, especially with all the vehicles we're going to come across. So you can see to start off here, there's 3 sleeping grunts that I like to go up and smack right away to kill them. Don't shoot because you'll wake them up obviously, but once you kill them you can obviously start shooting. So I'm trying to take out the brutes as fast as I can because obviously they're the ones who could deal out the most damage. So 2 snipes should be able to kill them. The captains, you may need to shoot 3 times depending on where you hit them. Obviously, if you land a headshot on the second shot, it will kill any of these guys in here. So just try to aim for that when you can. And oh boy, there's a turret guy up there. He's a grunt. They go up there through the lift, and that's fine. We could easily headshot him off of there. So mainly, we are going to just snipe all the brutes. It will collapse their shields immediately, except for the captains, like I mentioned. But if you land a headshot on your second try with any of them, they will die. And the jackals, we could obviously just shoot the notch and it will expose their head like so. And you could go for the headshot once they expose their head. So it's pretty straightforward. So just try to take out the enemies as quickly as you can. Don't overexert yourself. Don't thin yourself out too much and risk dying. Because obviously dying, you lose points for, and reverting to your last checkpoint also loses points. You actually lose more points for reverting to your last checkpoint than if you just died and allowed the game to revert on its own. But we are done. Those 2 carbine jackals are marking the end of this location here. So I'm going to go up here. There's actually a bunch of sniper ammo up here, right there, and you could actually kind of snipe from up here if you'd like. I don't like to be up there though because the brute shot guys could kind of tear you up from up there. You don't really have anywhere to retreat to when you're all the way up there. So there's more sniper ammo right there and also some BR ammo I was just looking at. And we are moving on to the next section. The par score for this level is 25,000. So we're not really going to bank on any par times. If you get a good time, you'll get a time multiplier for your score. But we're really just going to bank on getting the pure score just alone in the game and not even worry about a time multiplier because this level is one of the toughest in the game and it could definitely take you a long, long time. So I think I finished in about 25 minutes-ish, which is pretty good. It's not bad. It's not freaking awesome. But I get a pretty good time multiplier from that because the par time is 20 minutes. I think that it should have been a little higher than that, but anyway, take out these guys. It's pretty much the same thing we were doing last section. Take out the brutes with a sniper, take out the grunts with a battle rifle to the face, and the same with the jackals. Just shoot them in the notch and get them to expose their head and shoot them in the face. And, you know, just rinse and repeat. It's pretty much the same in this section as it is in the first section we just did. You could actually skip this section and the previous section, but since we're going for a par score, you might as well rack up some points here, of course. And we're not going to kill everybody in here. There's actually some hunter reinforcements that are going to get dropped off, and I'm going to ignore those guys. And I just got noobed. So my shield just totally dropped, even though it was pretty full. But that's alright. So everyone is mostly dead. There's a jackal behind me to the right, and those 2 hunters were just dropped off, as you can see. And I'm just going to go over here, follow this path. You could easily jump up and over here, and then kind of cut back into the left, and we're going up the ridge here to the next section. I like to throw a couple grenades, some frag grenades, and I got 1 kill out of that. Not great, but, you know, whatever. I don't really use the frags that much on this level anyway. So you could choose to stick that guy, you could snipe that guy. There's just a bunch of brutes, or no, a bunch of grunts and 1 brute, so you could take out the grunt with a sniper, or you could stick him, or you could try to noob combo him by overcharged plasma pistoling him and then shooting him in the face. The first terminal out of 7 is right through that doorway I'm just looking at there. And there are 2 more in this level actually. They're not spaced out, which is weird. They are on this level. There's 3 on the next level, and there's 1 on the last level. I guess it kind of makes sense because it is terminals just from the point of view of the didact and librarian, so there wouldn't really be much sense to there being those records on any of the other levels which don't take place on a Forerunner installation, so I guess that makes sense. But usually they like to have 1 on every level. But anyway, this section has 2 brutes, which I sniped readily, and it has a bunch of grunts. So you want to snipe one of the brutes right away, and it gets most of them to start freaking out, and you can just shoot them in the head. And then the far brute you could just take out at your leisure with a sniper. So I switched out my sniper, which is almost empty, for this rocket that is under the destroyed Pelican, and we're just going to wait here for the first Prowler to come in. And you're going to shoot, and he will die in one hit, and same with the second one. Just shoot, and he'll run right into it. And now we got a fancy pants Prowler, and we got some rockets. I'm going to give the rockets to one of my Marine buddies over here so I could get him to go in the passenger side, like so. And 99% of the time, he'll get in the passenger side and not get in the turret. If he gets in the turret, that's just not good luck. He usually is smart enough to get in the passenger seat when he has those power weapons. I decided to grab a noob combo, and then I realized I could just go and grab my sniper again, which I do in a second. I forgot about it. I almost left it behind, but I'm like, oh, there it is. Let me hop out. And it's right where we left it. There we go. Grabbed it. Hopping back in. And we are on our way to the next section. There's going to be a bunch of ghosts, there's going to be some choppers, and there's going to be some random infantry in this area too. So just hop over this jump here, jump over the gap, whatever. And there are going to be some random enemies. You probably want to take them out. You could just speed by them, but I like to take them out because they're a good amount of points. You can see all the points I'm racking up here, and it's fairly easy to get the kill. You want to try to avoid being in front of the enemies because obviously if you're in front of them, they could shoot you. While you could really shoot the enemies from any direction since you have the guy in the turret, and the guy on the side has a pretty good range of fire as well. It's pretty much got a 180-degree view, so it's not bad at all. And that went right over that ghost. Thought I got him. Got him that time. So they're all dead. Moving to the next section. The beauty of having these people in your vehicle is the fact that the kills that they get actually count for you. If they were on foot and stealing your kills, they would not count. But if they're actually in your vehicle that you're driving, whatever they kill counts towards your score. So that's great, especially since the rocket guy has unlimited rockets. Whatever weapon they have has unlimited ammo, but when you give them power weapons, it's much more noticeable and awesome. So driving by those grunts over there by the downed Phantom, they're not really that good point-wise, so I just kind of drove by some of them without killing all of them. We're just going to leave them to, you know, their own devices over there. And this ghost almost killed me. They could bring your shields down pretty quickly, so watch out. You don't want to be in front of them. You want to try to be on the side or behind them, like I said. And there we go. Unfortunately, I did not get the vehicle kill for that. If you blow up the vehicle with the enemy in it, you'll get a double kill. One for blowing up the vehicle and one for killing the enemy within it. So, and the vehicle itself is a lot more points than just the singular kill of the enemy. So you want to try to kill the vehicle itself when you can. Obviously, it's pretty random in this case due to the fact that I'm not doing any of the shooting. I'm just kind of driving around. But just for future reference when you are doing the shooting. But this section has two ghosts. Just took out the last one there. It has that fuel rod brute who was charging at me and kind of not really being that effective at all. He just kind of ran past me. But he normally has a fuel rod. He did here and he dropped it somewhere. I normally give it to one of my Marine buddies, but he did not. Well, I don't know what he did with it. So I'm just going to drive over here and start doing my own thing. It's not really that big of a deal, especially on Heroic. It's not like we're doing Lazo and we want all of our Marines to have the ridiculous weapons to help us out. So I like to grab the chopper if it hasn't been blown up in the previous skirmish and start taking out the Wraith over here and also the Shade Turret over there. I took out the Shade Turret first. Normally I take out the Wraith first, but he's kind of hiding behind the rock there. But I just got him as well, and then once you take out the Wraith, all these brutes on the left will go across this bridge and up towards those two anti-air Wraiths in the back. So I'm just trying to shoot at them a little bit. Then two ghosts will come down as well. You can see they're coming down to the right. And you want to watch out for that sniper turret. There's also a grunt in there. He stays in there no matter what. And if you go over there, he'll just start shooting at you. So don't forget about him. Don't focus over here and then retreat over to the left thinking you're safe, because there is that grunt still up there if you haven't taken care of him. And there's this guy too. And he's dead now. So we are going to take out this turret. There's also a grunt up there, so watch out for him. And you could actually kill some of the enemies in there with the chopper from here. There is a grunt with a fuel rod though, and you're going to want to watch out for him because obviously he can do the most damage to you very quickly. But you could actually shoot the Wraiths with a chopper from here and take them out fairly quickly. Not very quickly, but, and oh my god, there's the fuel rod. So we're going to abandon this strategy because now there's a fuel rod grunt that's in the know regarding our position. So we're going to take him out, and he's no longer in the know. He knows nothing now. He is just a big, massive grunt body. So we took him out, but there still are a bunch of enemies over there, so you're going to want to watch out. There is a brute with a power drainer over there, so you don't want to get power drained. And the main thing with that is if you're in a vehicle, oh my god, that fuel rod turret anti-air wraith knows me, and this turret guy, like I was mentioning earlier. Don't retreat over here thinking you're safe. If there's a turret guy still alive, I apparently did not kill the turret guy who's above me right now. So, you know, take that as a life lesson. There's also some brutes we could still take out, and here's that grunt I was talking about. He just hangs out on that turret. Forgot to take him out. I thought he was that guy who was running around on foot earlier. That was a pretty good snipe. I could barely even see his head. But anyway, oh, there's one up there. And now he's hiding. That's alright, we'll go get him later. And we're getting back in the chopper. So apparently, well, I knew this already, but I say apparently like I just found out, but I didn't. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, the wraiths will sometimes start shooting at you with their anti-air rounds like that. Holy crap. Gave that brute a nice pair of socks he could wear around. And so what I'm going to do now, since they're totally fixed on me, is I'm just going to run up to it and kill it, which doesn't seem like a great idea, but we're going to take the turret guy out first, so as we run up to him, he does not just destroy us. And I'm going to take that one out as well, because he could still shoot at us too. And once you start shooting with a chopper, there's a risk that they'll just turn around. This brute is going to get in the turret. Not cool, guy. I just emptied that place out, but we're good now. And there's a grunt still over there, but he died. And now we can just kind of zigzag our way up. You don't want to hide behind those crates I just passed, because he'll just like shoot them and send them flying into you and splatter you. So we can just board these wraiths at this point since there's nobody else in the area. Make sure you don't like kind of run right into him as he's strafing to the side, because he could splatter you. Also, if he turns on you, that's obviously still a threat you want to avoid. Just make sure you're aware of where he is and make sure he doesn't shoot at you. And if he does turn towards you, just, you know, strafe side to side so it doesn't really have a chance of hitting you. Obviously, they're slow-moving projectiles, so it's not too hard to dodge, but don't stand in front of any debris or weapons or blown-up vehicles or anything at this point, because the Fort Unto Dawn is coming in, and it will send all of those objects flying, and you don't want to get splattered by any of them. But I'm going to cut ahead here because it's just, you know, a little segment of it coming in and landing. So here I am in my tank that was just dropped off by Fort Unto Dawn, fresh as the dickens, and I'm going to let some Marines jump on me. It's not really that big of a deal. They don't have that much firepower. I could just, you know, load them up with a bunch of power weapons if I really wanted to, if I was just doing a standard legendary run or a laser run. But I'm going for, you know, some points as well as some speed. Again, the main thing we're going to get points from here is just the amount of vehicles we kill. So we're going to get it mostly from score rather than time, but time still is a factor. Obviously, do the best you can in that department, but it's not what we're going to bank on. Some levels we like to bank on the time, and that multiplying our score to get the threshold of the par score, but not this time around. We're just going to do that on our own. So we killed everything in that section, and you really want to focus your fire on this Phantom, because Phantoms are a ton of points. So we're just going to aim here. Try to aim at the eyeballs, quote-unquote, the engines in the front of the Phantom. Those are the weakest points, so that'll do the most damage to them. And then we're just going to take out all these things. Oddly, the Prowlers did not come into the section I was just in. Normally they go into that section, along with some of the other enemies that were in there. And it looks like that Ghost did not go in there either. That's weird. Most of the vehicles, all of the vehicles, normally charge and are not in this section. But looks like some of them hung back, and it didn't really matter because we just killed them all anyway. So we're moving through. Killed everything that we need to so far. There's going to be a bunch of ghosts. There's going to be 6 up here. The first 2 are right here, 1 and 2. And then there's going to be 4 more in this little section, this little area. And there's going to be a wraith as well, along with a bunch of infantry in the upper left. We're going to deal with the infantry last. So we're going to go after this wraith first. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in. I just like to kill the wraith first. And you could get a Killionaire potentially up here from all the vehicles and enemies. I did not get one there, but I just shot at some of the infantry up there. And I will not be getting a Killionaire this time around, but that's okay. You can see the 2 other ghosts came in. Take out all those guys. There's a bunch of infantry in here around this barrier, those barriers, and that sniper tower. And here's another Phantom you could potentially take out. So try to aim for here. You need to lead the target because he's so far away. And the tank round does not fire and immediately register where you're aiming. So you can see I got it there, got a bunch of points. It's a little bit tough, but nothing crazy. If you miss it, no big deal. There's a bunch of other opportunities to kill Phantoms and just get a bunch of points in general. So you can see we took out that Wraith from far away. There's 2 shade turrets up there I like to take out early before we even get up there. There's 2 choppers in the lower bowl region down there. So I'm going to take out one. There's still a Wraith firing at me, which is kind of silly. I should probably prioritize him first, but I'm not doing that right now. There's another shade turret up there I just took out, and there's a bunch of infantry up there as well in general. There's going to be 2 ghosts up by that wraith I am now shooting. They're going to pop out of the rocks in a little bit. I'm just looking back there continuously because there's another phantom that actually drops off a wraith and some more troops. So I'm watching out for him because he's an easy target once he does land there. And there he is. He's just coming in, trying to land all his buddies. And you can see this one is much easier to kill than the previous one I killed. He just kind of hovers there for a little bit. You can see I'm shooting at that eyeball, quote unquote. It's not really an eyeball. It's a ship. It doesn't really need eyeballs. But you can see it went down pretty quickly. And there's another shade turret over here. Luckily, that phantom dropped off another wraith for us. That just means more points, more easy points for us since we're in a tank. And we're just going to roll up in here, shoot that tank from far away, and I guess in close range as well as we approach it. And it is done. And usually there's a bunch of other infantry up here, but apparently I took them out early. Some were probably killed from that explosion when they were all in the phantom. They didn't even get a chance to jump out yet. But that's okay. The phantom is worth way more points than those infantry would be worth. So it's definitely worth it to take out that phantom. And at this point, we got to wait for Guilty Spark to open this stupid door. I'm just going to cut ahead because this video is kind of long, so I'll skip to the bridge. So I just cut out 30 to 40 seconds. I just went through a couple doors that Guilty Spark opened for me. And we activate that bridge panel and go through these doors, and we are on our way down to the section where we got to battle another Scarab. Getting ahead of myself a little bit. We still have 2 more doors to go through, but, you know, we're on our way. We're going to drop down, and we're going to totally ignore all the nonsense to the right. There is the Scarab that comes over the top of us. I like to wait a second just for him to clear, because that back left leg likes to swing around like that, and I've been splattered by it before. So I just like to wait, allow him to pass, and I like to slide down here, and you could ignore all the people to the right. You can see we have tons of points at this point, and we're going to easily clear the threshold for the par score. So we're just adding to that at this point. But just jump down here. I like to grab the tank that is furthest from the front here because it's the safest one. The other ones are kind of already pulling out and into the battle zone, so they are vulnerable to fire, especially from wraiths, so I like to take that one out first. I first like to take out this phantom from far away. He kind of hovers back and forth a little bit, but he's apparently just going to stay right there for us right now. And I like to take him out because A, he's a ton of points that we just got, and B, he also drops off a bunch of brutes with fuel rod guns if you allow him to. If we moved forward, he would eventually drop off those people, and they're annoying, so we could just avoid having to deal with them by taking out the phantom first. And the phantom is worth more points. Anyway, so just roll through here. There's a ton of choppers, there's a ton of ghosts, there's a bunch of wraiths as well. So we're really just easily getting our points up at this point. Obviously, I'm kind of rolling through fairly cockily. If you're not as confident with the tank or anything, or your shooting skills or whatever, you could obviously take it a little slower. I'm kind of rolling through this area and willingly taking fire, just because I'm confident in my running and gunning abilities, especially on Heroic. Mostly because it's on Heroic. Legendary, obviously, can't be this aggressive. But we're just rolling through here. So we're just finishing up this area. There's this remaining wraith. I think there was a ghost I left behind, but I'm just allowing my Marines to take him out. Because, well, frankly, they could do that. And the ghost isn't that tough, especially when I'm in a tank. So even if he came up behind me, I could just turn around and blast him. So you want to blast where I'm blasting right now. You can see I killed one thing. There are some grunts over there that have fuel rods. I think Legendary has 2, but maybe Heroic only has 1, I guess. So I only killed the one there, but that's all I needed on Heroic. And he's someone who could totally destroy you if you kind of ignore him or just don't know that he's there. You could all of a sudden die from a fuel rod blast, and you're like, where in the world did that come from? But that's where he comes from. So there are going to be 4 choppers that come in this area. 2 in the beginning here, and then there's going to be 2 more once we blow up this Scarab, or once it starts shrinking down to the ground here. So I took out the leg. You want to target one leg, and you could actually shoot up and into the area where it is vulnerable, where you could have it start exploding. So you can see I'm doing that here. If you get behind it, there is a flashing butt part, like a flashing light on its, I guess it would be anus. It looks like an anus, I guess. And if you blast that, it'll actually do enough damage to the back of the Scarab that the entire back of it falls away. So it entirely exposes the entire vulnerable part of the Scarab, actually. So you can do that as well, but you can see I kind of skipped that part and shot into the narrow gap that was present. And I took out those 2 choppers I was talking about out of the 4. The 2 reinforcement choppers, and I just rolled up here and started taking out everybody. You can see there's a power drainer. That guy always has a power drainer, so watch out for that. I am kind of in a vulnerable position since I have no shield, and I'm getting beam rifled from above. Watch out for those jackal snipers up there. There's only 1, but there's some more that have carbines. And obviously there's the brutes to the bottom right that I already dealt with, but they could easily turn the tables. And up here there's going to be a couple more jackals you can see on my radar, and there's also an invisible brute. So he's going to throw a firebomb at me, I think, in a second. Or maybe not. And I'll just waltz into this next section. I'm going to skip ahead here because this is a section where we just wait for Guilty Spark to open the door and he converses with a Marine, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. So I'm going to skip ahead like 30-40 seconds. I grabbed a fresh plasma pistol, so that's a key thing right there. Assassinate this urinating brute. He's just peeing in the corner. And we're just going to run through most of this. We're pretty much done with the level. Not all the way, but we're pretty much going to skip a lot of these guys. So we're going to run through here. You could skip this guy, or by skip I mean stick. You could definitely skip him. You could possibly stick him if you want. It doesn't really matter. You could just, you know, follow the path I took right there without sticking him and you'd be totally fine. You could overcharge plasma pistol this guy. I like to save a lot of my stickies at this point because I'm actually going to use them for the final encounter. So you'll see me not stick anybody from here on out, I believe. I might throw one accidentally. What I accidentally do is deploy this bubble shield. And I don't know why I was even engaging those brutes. I could actually just go over here where these jackals are and just kind of run to the end. First I'll deal with the jackals though. I don't need to save any frag grenades, but all the sticky grenades I'll save. So you could actually just run over here, and you'll most likely be able to just cut through there. And we could go to this console and activate this cutscene, which I'll be skipping. I'm a huge fan of the lore, but this is a par score guide. This is not a cinematic walk through the park. So we are just going to cut back. We're in the same spot where the cutscene started. And we're going to go back the way we came, but we are going to go downstairs instead of upstairs to where we came from exactly. So you could turn the corner, there's going to be a bunch of grunts there. You could take some of them out if you'd like. I recommend taking some of them out just to, you know, minimize the fire that's incoming. But you can see the brutes coming out of the doorway to my right and kind of in front of me now. And that is where you want to go. This is why I save a bubble shield. I like to deploy it kind of in front of that door so I could easily run through there without taking any fire. And that's where I threw another spike grenade. I should not have done that, but I did. I normally deploy the bubble shield there instead, so obviously, like I said, I could just run past them without taking any fire. And just grab the fire bombs. There's always an invisible elite there, or not elite, an invisible brute. And there's going to be like 3 or 4 invisible brutes in here as well, so you're going to want to watch out for them. Be aware that they have fire bombs, as you can see, and they also have radar jammers. So if you see like 500 contacts on your radar, don't worry, you're not having a bad trip. It's just, you know, they have a radar jammer. So there's going to be, oh, there's another one here still. See on my radar. It's not too hard to pick out, just use your radar. And then there's going to be 2 jackals. These are the last jackals you need to kill. No, that's a total lie. There are 2 other jackals, but not in this section. So I switched out for a fresh plasma pistol, or at least a fresher plasma pistol. I'm going to waltz down here. There's going to be 6 jetpack brutes along with the hammer chieftain. So we're just going to, ideally, if I had 6 stickies right now, I could walk around the semicircle formation they're in and just stick all of them. As you can see I'm doing right now, I got 3 for 3, 4 for 4, and the chieftain smashed me and I missed that one. And now I'm out. So I'm going to noob that guy, kill him. The chieftain is actually very easy to take out if you know what to do. You just sidestep to the left when he does his most common move, which is this. Sidestep to the left, go around him, and easily assassinate him. He has 2 other moves. If he does one of those 2 other moves, do not engage because he will kill you if you're too close to him. Just wait for him to do that move. It's probably going to be the first move he does because that's his most common move. Then I killed the 6th jetpack brute, the 7th overall brute, and took out those carbine jackals. Those carbine jackals come for where you saw me kill them. They are deployed once the chieftain dies, so be aware that they're going to come after you once the chieftain goes down. And I should have mentioned this earlier, you cannot skip that earlier room we were in with all those invisible brutes because they'll follow you in here and you need to kill everything out here before this cutscene starts and the level ends. So that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Click like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow me on Twitter at HaloCompletion, and I will see you later for more Halo achievements.